Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable. IREX Real Estate Expo 2024 Residency and Citizenship Conclave 2024 in partnership with CNBC TV 18.
The 17th edition of International Real Estate Expo and IREX Residency and Citizenship Conclave recently took place in Mumbai. This prestigious event brought together prominent developers and immigration firms from various corners of the globe, offering a wealth of investment possibilities for Indian residents seeking international opportunities. The conclave saw participation from leading real estate and immigration companies representing countries like Qatar, Dubai, UK, Scotland, Canada, Greece, Portugal, Malta, and the USA. A dedicated panel discussion moderated by Mugdha Kalra delved into the US EB-5 program. Industry experts share valuable insights highlighting why now might be the perfect time for investors to consider this program.
I have with me gentlemen from very successful centers who have helped clients achieve their American dream, and now we're going to talk about that. Abhishek, why should an Indian opt for the EB-5 visa program over any other US immigration program?
EB-5 program is a direct path to green card rather than going through the complications and restrictions of many other means like H-1Bs, F-1s. There are no visa expiration stress, so it comes for a lifetime. So once you get it, you can have it for a lifetime, and it can lead to citizenship as well. Then, there's no limitation. Like, you can start building your American dream the way exactly you have envisioned it. Like with post-RIA, you get EAD, like employment authorization, very quickly. So you can start working in whatever field you want to work in, even if that particular field is not related to the major that you have been you have done the major in. Then F1 students have to leave US once their work period, which is also called optional practical training, is over. But with EB-5, you actually unlock freedom. And yeah.
Yep.
I'd just like to add a point to this. So, as Abhishek rightly said, I think one of the key reasons also is, as an Indian investor, when you look at other visa programs, such as the L1, intra-company transfer, all other visa programs are majorly retrogressed by at least a minimum of 4 to 5 years for Indians. So, and we're here essentially talking about the Indian audience. So, the reason why EB-5 is still the most important program is because, as everyone rightly said, as of right now, there is no waiting list for Indian investors. So it gives you the right to activate your American dream as and when you want to choose to go ahead with the path.
Right. Asif, you are an experienced client as well as a center head. I want this to be a little anecdotal. Why did you choose this for yourself? And when you were considering EB-5, what were your main intentions? And also, why did you choose this over all the other options available?
Well, thank you for this question, first of all. I'll just give you a little detailed answer, because back in 2005, I did my MBA from Australia. And at that time, I could have got that PR very easily, but I decided not to choose that path and came back to India and joined my family business. Right after that, then I got married, had kids, and ultimately most of the parents, including myself, would look for the children to go out and complete their higher education as well. So that was the prime thought, like, what if, let's assume my daughter, if I'm going to send her for the higher education, and once she is going to finish the education, then the kind of a struggling there is in the US job market, because the residency requirement is going to provide that cushion to those students. So I thought, like, instead of sending her the, all the way for the master program, why not to start the basic study in basic education right from the beginning? And for that, at the age of 36, my daughter was like almost 11 and my son was 6. So that was the best time. And I wish I could have filed a little bit more earlier, but I didn't know anything about much more before 2016, because only 245 odd files were filed back in 2016. No one knew anything about EB-5. And there was no such presentation that like we are having over over here right now. So my motto was individually for my children's better education, and I just want to make sure that that residency or the citizenship ultimately, and we have now become the citizens now because we have already completed the 5 years of journey of residency as well. So, and you'll be very surprised, I haven't applied for the citizenship, but I just made sure that my children applied for the citizenship because I was not very keen to get that citizenship.
A lot of people already have family that is staying in the US, and they would want to go be with them, education being another reason. There are a variety of reasons. But Girish, we are now talking about these centers. Why is a center selection so important?
So firstly, it starts with doing the basic due diligence or research as to what EB5 program is all about and what is the crux of that. Because there is a lot of marketing which happens as to we are going to construct this and that. The key point there, while you're looking for any EB5 investment, is twofold. One is the green card, of course, and second is the return of your capital. So what is it that will make these two things work?
Right.
That becomes important. So when you're talking to regional centers, specific questions need to be asked. Firstly, the track record, that is just going to be very simple to ask, and any credible regional center is going to answer this particular question honestly.
And Girish, are they in public domain, all the track records for people to see?
So the track record can be in public domain, but you still need to look at the PPM, the private placement memorandum,
Right.
where most of the things are going to be mentioned, and they have to be honest about that because that is filed directly with the USCIS, which is the adjudicating authority. On top of that, I think one more point to add to that is, along with the regional center, for any investor or a prospective investor conducting due diligence should also consider the developer, because that developer or the borrower is going to be the one who is going to ensure that the construction activity happens, it happens on time, and the job creation which is required for the EB5 process, that happens, and then the return of capital, of course. So these things need to be considered. It's not just the regional center that you should be comfortable with, but also the developer that they are working with as well.
Akshat, when we talk about laws, and there are quite a few, and you also mentioned quite a few of them in your presentation, but what are the primary few laws that need to be complied with, and how do the centers then help one get their paperwork in order?
So you're asking this from a perspective of regional centers?
Yes.
Okay. Essentially, every regional center needs to have a regional center license, which means that you need to be registered with the USCIS. All regional centers are essentially under the purview of the USCIS, the SEC, and these are big federal bodies that sort of govern how things take place in the US. Even before we're allowed to onboard any investor or any investor files a conditional green card application with us, we need to file an application called the I-956F, where we're essentially documenting every piece of communication that would become a part of a marketing collateral being shared with investors. Moreover, the permanent green card stage, which is the I-829 stage, the new law says that until unless the government federal body personally does not visit the project and sees progress, they will not issue you the permanent green card. And one of the best things that we sort of saw very recently as in terms of an announcement was the USCIS said that now every regional center is going to be audited once in every 5 years. So we as all, I am very happy to be joined by all my esteemed panelists, and I would say that all regional centers here welcome these sort of suggestions, and we are always open to complying with them because we have the best interests of the investors in mind.
Right. Abhishek, if I may come to you, since the ROI in EB5 investment is low, question arises, why should an investor consider it over other programs?
Many investors say that I'm very blunt on this, and I would like to be very blunt and straightforward on this. You are not doing this particular investment for making money. If that's what your primary goal is, don't go for EB5. EB5 is not an investment which is done to make money. EB5 is done for your immigration purposes. So the primary focus for an EB5 investor is, number one, smooth processing of your green card. Number two, how safe can you keep your capital? Or wherever you are investing, let it be the regional center and the developer, it's a partnership. Mostly we deal with real estate projects. That's the reason I use the word developer. How safe can you keep the capital? Safe. That's what should be the emphasis on. Making money is the last thing that you can expect in EB5 set up? No, it's for immigration, not for making money.
All right, Asif, what parameters should the investor keep in mind when thinking about projects that the centers are doing?
The good regional center always having a good track record will make sure that, and they vet the project in an appropriate way, and they have got the appropriate team to make that decision. Second most important thing on an individual project-wise, that what you are supposed to look into the cost structure of the project. What is the developer equity? What percentage of the EB5 money is there? Who is the first lien of EB5? Whether the EB5 investor is on the first lien or the second lien? Is that in the senior bank loan? Is there in the particular project cost structure or not? So there are various factors apart from that. The most important thing, the project. Time period. That means that if the project is a debt funded project, that means you're supposed to look into what would be the loan period of that particular project. And apart from that, the most important thing, because while choosing the right project, I always try to explain based on my experience to my investor that there are three factors that you should look into the project. While number one is the safety of your capital. Number two, safety of your green card. And number three, the conversion of your conditional green card into the permanent green card. That is the job creation. So you definitely have to look into the project that the cost structure of the project on the basis of the deployment of the funds, simultaneously job will be created, and that would ultimately convert your conditional green card into the permanent green card. And majority of the investors are aware of that fact, but back in 16, 17, and 18, when the EB5 project concept was absolutely new, so most of the project investor, they couldn't recognize the importance of the job creation. So these are the factors that on a simpler way, I would ask, or I would explain investors to choose from.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for this very candid conversation.
IREX Real Estate Expo 2024 Residency and Citizenship Conclave 2024 in partnership with CNBC TV 18.
The conclave served as a valuable platform for delegates from across India to connect directly with the leading real estate and immigration companies. These connections facilitated exploration of diverse investment options and residency and citizenship programs across the globe. Mugdha Kalra also hosted an insightful one-on-one discussion with Girish Mohile, Vice President of CMB Regional Centers, USA. The conversations focused on the exciting potential and promising prospects of the EB5 program.
Today, now we are not just demystifying EB5, but also we're talking about a client's journey, a person who is looking at taking this leap of faith. What are the mistakes that they can avoid making? What are the due diligences that they need to sort of put in place so that their money, their dreams, their assets are all safe? And of course, it is at the end of the day about a great partnership. So my first question, Girish, is a very rhetoric one, but also something that is on the minds of everyone. Today I'm going to see a lot of centers. Today I'm going to meet a lot of center heads. But how do I know this is the right fit for me?
I think the first and foremost thing which needs to be done is to do our own research. Start with the basic research as to what everyone is offering. Every regional center is going to have some preference, as I earlier mentioned, in terms of what kind of projects they have, what kind of developers they work with, what track record those developers have, and what kind of projects specifically, the areas that they function in. So that is going to give every prospective investor some gist as to what exactly any regional center is offering. Once you cross that stage, of course, most of the regional centers are going to be filtered out, and then you're going to come up with top 3 or 4 regional centers based on the track record, based on the projects that they have. And that is when you go and start speaking to them one-on-one. I think asking questions is the first and foremost, most important thing which a prospective investor should be doing while they are getting into the process of EB5. And it's not going to be a quick process.
Yeah.
It takes months. Sometimes I am speaking with clients who I've met 2 or 3 or 4 years back, and they are still yet to decide whether to move forward with any regional center or with this particular program in the first place or not. The reason being, it's not just going ahead with EB5, but also to ensure that EB5 is the right choice for them in the first place.
Right.
So the timing also matters.
On a very basic level, having worked with so many clients, what has your experience been in terms of how much time does it take for them to actually consolidate all their thoughts and, of course, their papers and all the legalities? How much time does it, what is the cycle like? How much time does it take for just them to make up their minds?
It may take years, but sometimes it's a very quick decision. So for example, and this is something which we have been discussing regarding concurrent filing, right? So you must have noticed that there is quite a lot of uncertainty when it comes to specific visa categories.
Okay.
H-1B, for example, a lot of employees are losing their jobs in the US, and they want to ensure that they want to be in the US and pursue further employment opportunities. So in that case, the decision making is really, really quick. Although they have been mulling over EB-5 for quite a few years, but the decision making has to be quick because there is a limited period of time before which they have to take a call in order for them to retain their status in the US. However, again, it depends on what exactly the investor is looking for. If you're looking for a permanent residency and a faster route to be in the US, that is when EB-5 visa makes more sense.
Let me shift gears a little. I just wanted to know, what is CMB Regional Center's main business?
So CMB Regional Centers is designated as a regional center, which allows us to source EB-5 qualifying projects. So that's our bread and butter.
Okay.
Our basic responsibility is that fiduciary responsibility to ensure that every investor that comes to us, we are fighting for their cause. So we speak with different developers, we ensure that we have compliances in place, we ensure that all the paperwork which is required for every investor to be filed to USCIS is done, along with, in conjunction with the attorneys that they work with, and to make the process easier. And we have a strong record to testify that. We have been in this business since last 27 years. We were established in 1997, and we have 6,000 plus investors from 103 different countries.
An important question. What are the 5 most common mistakes that you see? Also, is there a possibility that also midway through your application process, when you have already put in so much effort, there could be litigation issues that sort of pushes you all the way back to where you started from?
The biggest mistake which I have seen is blind trust. Due diligence is the key over here. Asking questions is the key over here. No matter what is being presented to you, we need to come back to the first basic question: how will I get my green card? Right. And how will I get my return of capital? We need to come back to that basic question of, if I invest in this particular project, will I be in a position to have my green card through the job creation which is projected in that particular project or not? That's first thing. Second thing is return on investment.
Right.
People want to have return on investment to a level where they are expecting 7, 8, 10%, good for them. But EB-5 is not for them. Return on investment in EB-5 projects, especially regional center projects, is always going to be a very distant, small portion of the return. What you're expecting is the green card. That is your return on investment. So if you're putting preference towards return on investment, maybe EB-5 investment is not the right one for you. Third mistake, I think, is very common, and that is not paying attention to the local laws. While we are doing EB-5 visa, regional center is going to take care of the US side of things. So all the filings are going to be from the US end. But it is the responsibility of an Indian investor in this case, for example, that they need to ensure that they are speaking with the right people, right attorneys, CAs, who have the technical know-how to do their pre-immigration taxation planning as well. So I think these 3 things are the most important things or mistakes which usually I have encountered.
Thank you, Girish. Thank you for your time.
The IREX Real Estate and Immigration Conclave boasted a vibrant exhibitor floor featuring representatives from over 15 countries worldwide. The event received valuable support from leading industry players. Shobha Realty, a renowned luxury real estate developer in Dubai, offering a stunning portfolio of upscale residential properties across UAE, served as one of the lead partners.
So Shobha Realty is a luxury developer in Dubai. We have a great presence in India, and we are also very well established in Dubai as of now. In Dubai, we have got multiple projects as of now. One of the key projects that we are highlighting in IREX 2024 in India is the Heartland 2, which is our 8 million square feet development. It has got a luxury living standards that will be giving for the Indian audience in Dubai.
United Development Company, a prominent Qatari public shareholding company with a commitment to long-term investment projects, also joined as a lead partner.
As you know, 2.6 million people is the population of the state of Qatar, and we have a very, very big Indian community here. We understand that the Indian investor is a very important investor for us, so that's why we are always coming here. This is our second time in Mumbai.
The conclave's success was further bolstered by the contribution of its platinum partners, including CMB Regional Centers, EB5 United, US Immigration Fund, Green Properties, My Stay in Luxury, and JMG Group Holding.
In recent years, the Qatari government has put in place new regulation which opens up the market to international investors. And there are a lot of Indians working in Qatar and living in Qatar. And of course, Qatar is not very far away from India. It's a short trip.
So at EB5 United, what we do is we help investors from other countries obtain a green card by making an investment in the United States that creates at least 10 jobs for each investor. And so we facilitate that process. And what we do is we try to bring low-risk projects for investors to be able to invest into to make sure they're going to obtain a green card and to go get a return of their capital that they invest into the project.
At IREX Mumbai 2024, we're essentially very happy to market about our two projects, which are the Summit as well as Area 15 Phase 2. As a regional center, we keep coming up with new projects, and currently these are the projects that we're happy to showcase.
It's always great to be in IREX. Like, we have been attending this since many, many years. We always find IREX as one of the premium events, not just in India, but across the globe as well. So we hope that we'll be participating in next events as well. But as far as the event quality goes, or the quality of the attendees go, it's absolutely fantastic.
So there is a lot of demand from Indian people investing in Greece, especially for the Greek Golden Visa that gives you access to Schengen countries, free visa to travel across European Union.
It was something I was not sure what to expect, but I think the entire thing, from the whole event organization, the event team, and everything runs very smoothly. And I think we'll definitely be coming back next year as well.
The IREX Conclave stands at the sole platform that fosters direct interaction between real estate and immigration companies and aspiring Indian investors. It provides a unique opportunity for attendees to connect with international real estate developers and immigration firms and delve into a vast array of international real estate investment, residency and citizenship options. The conclave has enjoyed a successful history, having organized multiple editions in Dubai, Mumbai and New Delhi.
IREX Real Estate Expo 2024 Residency and Citizenship Conclave 2024 in partnership with CNBC TV 18. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.